All right, so welcome to the third podcast of the podcast about nothing.
Nothing.
I know, yeah. Here we are. So, how do you feel? 3 podcasts in.
I feel excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel super excited too.
Yeah, I do.
I'm definitely constantly looking for new ways to kind of grow this and make it as big as it can. So if you're out there listening, like, subscribe, follow, whether it's on Spotify, Apple, Facebook, or YouTube, anywhere you can consume your podcast on digital services, we are there. So definitely do all that, So we're just going to kind of dive into what we have planned for this week. So it's going to be the same format as always, what we have going on personally. And I think we're going to kind of split that down the middle this week.
Yeah, I think we need to do
yeah.
1 and 2. Yeah.
And we can get out of here with some hot topics. I like how we did 3 and then the one on the next episode, we kind of kicked back to the previous before. And that was Beyonce. So I would like to kind of circle back on one of the hot topics and talk about the eclipse because because I have a funny story about that. And then we can kind of add to it from there. So we're going to be talking about our careers and interest and kind of how we got into it. And I just wanted to say, first of all, I'm really proud of everything you've accomplished. And I guess I don't want to say it all right here at the beginning because you're going to talk about it. But I just want to say, I'm definitely your number one fan, and I'm proud of you. And I think everybody kind of figured that out at the graduation. But
yeah.
So, with that being said, this is going to be split in half. And, I'd kind of like you to go first about your deal. So lead the way, Miss Smith.
Okay, so I wasn't ever one of those kids or middle school, high school that knew what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
We've had this talk before. I just knew for certain that I wanted to do better and be better than what I grew up around. Which that's no shade to anyone who helped to raise me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like that's human, the want to do better, for yourself or for your kids. So nursing school was never really I don't know, in the forefront of my mind. But I've always worked a service job.
Yeah.
Whether it's waiting tables, customer service, working with people, helping them.
Yeah.
And achieving whatever that goal was in that
just always been amongst the people.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because you don't strike me as the type of person that would put up with a lot of people's shit on a daily basis, especially for a living. No,
I'm just now 5 months into my RN job, and I mean I've already kind of gotten past that. Some people you just can't make them happy,
right?
Yeah. I can go in and say my little jokey jokes and smile, and that don't mean nothing. They're just still going to be rude. So I've definitely kind of come to terms with it, and it doesn't hurt my feelings. Kind of match the energy. If we're just going to keep it short, I'll come in, do my thing, pass meds. Let me know if you need me.
Yeah, kind of built up a calluses
already. Yeah.
Because you are the type of person that don't put up with people's shit, but you are a good vibes type of person.
For sure.
If somebody's good, then you're absolutely good.
Yeah.
So
no. So it was, when was it? It was December of 2019. Miles was 6 months old. Kai's a year and a half. They were both in daycare. What kind of kickstarted me going to school. And, making up my mind was, I was working at the pharmacy then. I kept having to call into work because Kai kept having to leave daycare because he would have a rash pop up.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then I was always just sad because I never got to see Miles.
Damn, I remember that, yeah.
I would get the kids up in the morning, take them to school and daycare. Then I would go to work and I wouldn't come home till 6 in the evening.
Yeah.
6:30.
Pretty much.
And then dinner, baths, and bedtime. So I never got to see the kids, especially my 6-month-old baby. You know. So about the time I resigned from that job, it kind of, I don't know. I guess I was just kind of pissed off about it because I did enjoy that job. But it helped me make up my mind to do something with my time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So other than, I guess, just be mad about it, I guess. But that's whenever I went and enrolled at Connors. And I didn't ever go, I didn't go to school college right out of high school.
Right.
I just started working. And you remember
I remember there was a lot of unsurety, a lot of nerves just going up there to enroll. And
yeah, just to talk to him.
I remember just encouraging you, but I was thinking to myself, like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. But
I was worried I wouldn't even pass the exam for them to accept me as a student.
Yeah. That's why I said, like, man, I'm so damn proud of you, man. What an awesome feat, but continue,
So I went out, talked to the people, did all my, stuff to be accepted into Connors here in town. And like the next week I had to go take, like I said, like my placement or entrance exam or, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And that ended up turning out fine, but it ended up taking me like 3 hours to do the test. And I just knew, like.
It was a 3-hour test for an entrance.
It took me like 3 hours.
Okay.
Because I'm slow.
It's a 30-minute test, actually.
No, probably. But like that, and like passing that just fine. Like I didn't have to do any like remedial classes or anything. That's when I started basics, and so and then it was like within the next 2 weeks started basics, and I was worried about that because I was like this 28, 29-year-old person.
Right.
In class with literally like 17 and 18 and 19-year-olds.
What was that like?
I only talk to like a handful of people. So it really was just kind of like head down, take notes.
Facts.
Type of thing, But so that was January 2020. I started school. COVID hit March of 2020. So then everything went to online. And that kind of threw me for a loop because I was excited to be like in person. I feel like I do better when I see something in real time.
Yeah. It's a lot harder to stay focused whenever you're learning and it's all computers.
And then the kids' schools, they shut down too. So like we're all at home trying to learn.
Yeah, man, what a tumultuous time. Hopefully I said that word right.
I think so.
Yeah, but just to have the kids at home learning and they're on their computers and. Me working from home and then you going to school from home. It was just a lot.
Literally every person was in a different room of the house on a laptop or a computer.
Yeah. We were all glued for a substantial amount of the day. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, what is going on here?
God, that sucked. Yeah.
Fun fact, during the COVID lockdown, I got closer to you. Mm-hmm. And my kids annoyed me more. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. Anyways.
No, so there we are, all at home on our computers trying to, learn a thing or two. And then, so that was, spring of 2020. Kai and Miles were still in daycare, and I wasn't working at the time, so I was a full-time student. So in order to continue to get daycare assistance through Creek Nation, I had to either be working or, show a schedule for work or school.
Yeah.
So that's what prompted me to do summer classes. So from January 2020 until May of 23, I did spring, summer, fall. Full-time student year-round.
Yeah.
For 3 years. But it paid off because I graduated in 23 with 2 degrees.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at the time. I was just trying to keep those babies spot in daycare. But no, what was it? It was.
Who knew you kicked college ass just because we need help watching the babies?
Right. That was enough motivation for me.
Somebody can learn something out there.
Yeah. I applied for nursing school after I had, hit all my marks on basics and stuff. Applied for that in April or May of 21. Got my acceptance letter in like June of 21. Mm-hmm. Started nursing school August of 2021.
Yeah.
That was scary. But it felt good. But it was scary.
I mean, I could definitely imagine being scared because regular school is hard, but now you're going, like towards your profession and your education.
Yeah.
But, some people would say, hey, it's a lot easier because instead of focusing on all these different subjects, like your central focus is what you're going to be doing.
Yeah. No. So that was nice. But to bounce off of that, like, you got to know it.
Yeah.
There's very little wiggle room, especially in nursing school. Like, I didn't even realize when I was applying for it, got accepted, really, like, even until the first few weeks of that first semester, like, how cutthroat and unforgiving it is.
Yeah. I remember you saying, like, hey, this person dropped out. Mm-hmm. And, like it was people that we knew or, people we were close to or, just people, that you had personally got close to in class that just dropped out. So.
Yeah. Like, we had a pretty large class starting out. We graduated with the largest class in the history of Connors nursing program. But
I remember my freshman year at NSU, they put us all in the gym. And they said, look around, look at the person next to you. And they were like, it's like 85% of you guys won't even be here to graduate.
Dang.
I know. And I was one of the motherfuckers that wasn't there to graduate. Anyways, continue.
But it was, okay, so, I mean, you don't get, okay, so like college, you go to your classes like your first week. You go over syllabus, you're getting books.
Yeah.
That's not like that in nursing school. You got to have all your books and everything before class. Yeah. And then, like, first week class, you go over the syllabus. The next day you're in class, you're starting, like, your program. You have a test within 7 days.
Sheesh.
Probably 2 tests within 7 days.
Sounds like military school.
Do you remember my first test? It was over, like, 22 chapters.
Yeah.
And I was, like, super anxious that morning. And you kept, like, trying to, like, be nice to me. And, like, talk me off the edge of the cliff. And I, at one point, told you, I was like, just stop talking to me or I'm going to cry. Like,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember we had a couple of those moments, yeah.
Because it was just, you don't want to start off on the wrong foot, No. Like, but over time, I was a B and C student. Don't care. Toward the end, don't care because it works.
But like, you made it through. You made it through it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, nobody looks at a college degree for A, B, or C.
No.
They're just looking, they see a college degree.
Yep.
And the thing is, it's like showing up for a substantial amount of time. That's what that college degree proves. And I think a lot of jobs see that. And I think that's what entices them most about people having that.
Yeah, like commitment to to a goal. No, I know that I understand that now. But initially in my mind I was like, oh, I want to maintain like a 3.8 GPA.
I mean, and like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's people that try to do that, but shit, ain't nothing wrong with.
I love that for them.
Yeah, it looks good on you.
It looks great on you.
Yeah,
but I mean, no, I doubted myself a lot through school. Just from like personal, like insecurities about things, and then I mean, instructor wise, I had a handful of really good instructors that
that always helps.
Had to lean on. Yeah. But on the other hand, I had a good handful that were just really dry. And they would literally just tell us, like, it's in your book.
Yeah.
And, like, that kind of sucked, But then again, like, I don't know. It makes you more resourceful. And I feel that's already spilled over into work.
Yeah.
Like, being more resourceful within, like, my coworkers, within, like,
kind of not having to be baby fed type shit. Yeah.
The program that we use to chart and stuff at work, like, that's got a lot of resources. So, like, it's pushed me to try to figure things out on my own.
Yeah.
The best that I can. That way, when I do go ask someone for help, I can say, well, I read this, I saw this, I know this. Yeah. But what part am I missing? Or is that what order? Something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I feel like thank God, I feel like the career path that I chose is a good fit for me. Like, because I'm still learning something every time I'm there. I mean, it's a good, like, I still enjoy going. Like, really it ends up being like 13 hours by the time I'm clocking in and then coming home.
Yeah.
That's a lot. But, like, I don't know. I just did never think that I would be, even a year ago, You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, at first, I always thought you'd be delivering babies
I'll
because,
probably fall back over into that.
yeah, because like before you were getting ready to graduate, that's kind of what you were talking about going into. And, you know, like since you started your job, I mean, like there's been so much of a maturation in not just like your personality. I think there's a maturation in like how you've perceived yourself.
Yeah.
Because like whenever you started school, I don't think like you were equipped with, which is what I tried to do, you know, is like equip you with that faith or encouragement or, you know, like something that'll, you know, push start you to help, you know, so like you can have that. And now, you know, in this point in your life and I mean, I'm sure we all got stuff to learn, you know, but like I see you, you know, like more confident in what you do. Or, you know, if the kids have a problem with schoolwork, you know, like you're always there to help, you know, like there's just no assurity, you know, like the kids know who the college degree holder is in the house, you know. So
Well, you say that, but last week I was trying to help Nora, and I told her, I said, "Did you go over this in class?"
contractions?
No, it was something to do with multiplication.
Oh, because she hit me with the contractions, and we Googled, baby.
No, I had to Google too, but I was like, "Did you go over this in class?" She said, "No." I said, "I don't really believe that your teacher sent you home with a paper that you didn't even go over in class."
Right.
I said, "So hold on." I sat there and started Googling. She said, "Didn't you go to college?" I said, "This is third grade math, babe. I don't know what this is."
Damn.
Yeah, so.
Well, you know, I've never been the elite scholar, but I've always found a way to make it through. So, is there anything else you want to say about nursing?
It doesn't matter how old you are. If you think it's something you want to do, give it a go.
Yeah.
You'll find out really quickly if it's something you want to stick with or not. Probably within that first 6 weeks.
I mean, well, all right. So, what do you have to say to that person or the people that may be in nursing school right now and is experiencing the hard times that you had or the tough times that you had going through school? You know, like, do you have any motivation for them or any tips?
Yeah, no, just finish. Yeah. It's worth it. It is.
Yeah.
You're going to get you a job. They're going to know you don't know anything, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the experience. You can go to school for a decade, but doing it for 6 months, you're going to learn more than you did going to school. And clinicals and real work, clinicals and orientation at your new job are night and day, but it's like in the best way.
That's what I wanted you to cover and kind of hit on.
Yeah. Nope. So just go in with an open mind, like be hands-on. You can do it. Just finish it. Put your head down and finish it.
Well, finish it. Well, hopefully if anybody's out there going through school, you know, like they heard that and it motivates them to finish it.
Oh, just
and
that's
even
all
if
you
it's
can
not,
do.
yeah,
finish it. It's worth it.
And let that apply to everything in life, whether it's school, nursing, doing chores around the house, cutting your grass. Finish. Finish, you know? Yeah. Okay. So I guess it's my turn.
What about you, my boy?
I'm kind of a jack of all trades.
You really are. You really are.
So which one do you want me to go over first? Should I do music or should I do drafting? Because I do both. I mean, like both of them.
I say start with drafting.
Okay.
Because I really feel like we could cut this part out. I really feel like music needs its own.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is some.
At that.
No, I wouldn't be mad at that either. And no, we can leave this in. It's raw.
Okay.
It's raw. Fine. You know, like let's start with drafting.
Okay.
Even though it's pretty brief, it's not extensive like you. You know, like I didn't go to a 4-year institution. You know, I went to a 2-year. And whenever I went there to sign up, I didn't know what exactly I was going to do in life. Mm-hmm. I just knew that we had a family and we were young and I wanted to provide for you. So I just kind of showed up there and I just told myself like I was going to do something.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know. And they gave me a list of occupations that I can learn. And I was just going down a list of it, and the lady sitting in the back was like, "We just got a new drafting instructor that's really cool," and I was like, "All right." And next to like the profession, it shows like what you have the potential to make, and that one made the most money.
There you go.
So I just kind of put my finger on it, and I kind of dove into it, and I walked into class, and just like you going to ICTC. I was a lot older than all the other people in class, but
Yeah.
I was a big old goofball. So I kind of fit in with the kids. I don't know if that says anything about me, but yeah, man, I just kind of fit in, like I threw paper at other kids at their desk type deal. But nah, like I met my teacher, Shannon, and he turned out to be like a big influence in my life. He was probably one of the biggest goofballs ever too. And that's probably why we got along so good. I took a liking to him. I think I was selling cars at the time.
You were.
Yeah. Yeah. I was selling cars, and I just kind of told myself, like, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
I can't keep doing this because there's a lot of unsurety. And if you guys hear our dog in the back, he's
Cooper.
Yeah. Cooper Ribeye Smith, he's in his cage and he wants to come out and play, but it's podcast time, so
he's whining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, I was selling cars, and I went to ICTC, and I met Shannon. Turns out to be a really, really great friend of mine. And I go for the 2 years, or no, I go for a year straight.
Because you were full time.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a 2-year institution. I went to school full time for a whole year, just like a kid would, from 8 to 3 o'clock. And I got off, and I quit selling cars, and I got a job at like Dollar General or something like that. And that's basically what I did for that year. And I learned so much in that classroom as far as designing and stuff that could take me so far in life. And it's such a multifaceted job. Like you can design a house, you can do any kind of product design. And what I do now is like fire sprinklers. So the stuff that I've learned in that classroom can carry me anywhere in life, and I could do a bunch of stuff. Now, granted, times are kind of changing now, and this artificial intelligence is kind of threatening my profession. So I'm very curious to see, because, they're starting to design stuff that'll do everything a designer could do and maybe more accurate. So that kind of worries me. But after I got out of drafting school, I did graduate with like all A's. And like one of the, I forgot what they call it in my class, but they got my picture in the hallway at ICTC. And I became a part of the advisory board, and I did that for like 5 years. And that's just like going back to dinners and giving my input to the class. And I've always loved doing that. And what I do now is I design fire sprinklers. And I guess if you dig enough, like you would know the company I work for. But I've been doing that since like 2018. And I really like doing that. It's super challenging. And I can honestly say, like just being real, especially this past week, it's been pretty tough. And like you have times where like you feel great about it. And then you have times where like it's just, like this unsurety, like, can I do this? But overall, it's one of the most rewarding things that I've done, and I'm really proud of it. So yeah, like that's the drafting part of my life, like I just designed fire sprinkler buildings for and it's mainly for new buildings and existing buildings and like residential homes. So it's kind of all across the spectrum. One of the things I guess to finish it off, and I guess I want to talk about Shannon after that. But one of the things that I'm most proud of is that I got to design, if you're Native American, the new hospital that went up by the old hospital. I had complete control of that design from top to bottom. So I could pretty much walk through that thing and tell you how it's laid out just in my mind from, months of designing that thing and looking at the blueprints. And every time I've went into that building, which I believe is only like twice or three times, I brag on it.
Yeah.
I completely brag on it. So, that was one of my favorite accomplishments. It's just being Native American and being a part of that. And I'm proud of myself, like pat on the back, kudos. And
well, it's also a job that like you are able to like go and you were seeing it being done.
Yeah.
Because a lot of your projects are not close or they're out of state.
Yeah. Like another one I did was they're bringing the Toyota plant for the cars over, and I had a chance to work on that, and that was in Alabama. But unfortunately, like I didn't get to see that project, like physically being built as I was being a part of designing it. But on this project, I was actually there, like I could feel it, I could see it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just something really cool to just walking through there and just say like, hey, I put that there in this building, to protect these people here for a very long time for the future. So yeah, I'm super proud of myself for a kid that just walked into an ICTC that didn't know what the hell he was going to do.
Yeah.
And some random lady in the back was like, hey, we just got a new drafting instructor. And going through the year with that and then turning it into a career, like I would say that if there's anybody out there that can't do what Bailey did, like that couldn't finish, ICTC is an option.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And, like there's nothing wrong with going to a trade school and getting straight to work if that's what you need, because it was a blessing for me. And I would never be ashamed of it. And I'm forever proud about it. So
that's one thing that like high school doesn't really push. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of a hindrance to a lot of kids, because there's a lot of kids that don't have that support or whatever to be able to do a 4-year institute.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like parents can't afford it or whatever it may be, like there's bunches of ways that you can make ICTC works, like scholarships for high school students, being Native American, so on and so forth, like you can do the digging. But there is something special to my heart about the instructor, and his name was Shannon Barnes. He recently passed. And it's pretty hard to talk about because my drafting instructor was one of the greatest influences. I've only had few in my life, whether it be high school football coaches or people I meet along the way. But I met this guy like in my young adulthood, and like he definitely gave me a lot of confidence that I needed to like go out in the world. And recently lost him to suicide, and he was one of the strongest people that I've ever met in my life. And what trips me out every day is you never really know, like what someone is going through. And one of my not the very last encounter I had with Shannon, because he was somebody I looked up to. I was a DJ at a wedding, and he married our friend. So, we were both working the wedding. And I was so proud of like everything I had going on. Like I was just telling him, hey, like my wife is doing this, like our kid is growing, like I'm finally drafting, like I just wanted him to be proud. But when I look back on that moment, like I felt like I wish I could have stopped and asked him how he was doing instead of trying to, like up myself to him or, like try to make him proud and stuff like that. So, like if I can give any advice to anybody out there, first of all, if you're going through someone or if you're going through anything, like it's always good to find someone to talk to. And then, the friends that are on the other side of that, just like if you have friends and you love them, like give them a hug, because you don't know, like what somebody is really going through. And I just couldn't let my experience with ICTC have that conversation without bringing up Shannon and the importance he had in the development of my life as far as my career and as a person. And I also wanted to bring up the awareness because, like, I mean, hell, even I've had really tough times, days. I had a really dark time after my mom died, and it took a lot to get me out of that. So, yeah, definitely wanted to talk about that. I think that's pretty much it on my side.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to hot topics.
Okay.
Start off with Morgan Wallen.
He's a menace.
Yeah. All right. So I do know about Morgan Wallen. I don't know a lot about the new country artist, but I do know about Morgan because he's a frequent hip hop collaborator, specifically with Young Dirk. I don't know why. But yeah, he was drunk, Nashville, Tennessee, which is the Mount Olympus for all the country music artists.
Stomping grounds, yeah.
And he was on a patio bar.
Rooftop, yeah.
Rooftop bar. And he threw a chair over. And the whole world stopped. For one, I do understand that if that chair would have hit somebody below, it would have been lights out.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I threw a couple chairs in my lifetime too. And it didn't make TMZ.
Well, the chair he threw landed like 3 feet away from a group of police officers.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
yeah. So that's why it's such a big deal.
Have you noticed there's been a string of country music artists being arrested for just the craziest stuff, whether it's smart talking cops or just throwing chairs and stuff? It's kind of seemed like the new country artist is the new rock star.
Yeah. I can see that
type of vibe.
Yeah. For sure.
I definitely get that, but I'm glad that nobody was hurt, except for the chair.
Yeah, and his feelings.
Yeah.
Did you read why he threw the chair?
No, I mean, well, I just thought it was a drunken.
No, he was drunk, but he had just found out the news that him and his ex-fiance had split up kind of recently.
Yeah.
And within 5 days of her new relationship becoming public, she got married to the new man.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you get married to somebody? I mean, there has to be something pre-existing.
Well, yeah. So it's not 5 days post breakup, but 5 days of the new relationship being out to the world. They ran off and got married. Mm-hmm. And
he was just out at a bar getting drunk.
And he found out somehow. Read it or someone showed him or...
I can understand that,
It's not like he went out.
Listen.
But he's already drunk, so,
right. The brother threw the chair. He didn't realize he was on the 30th floor,
30th. Right.
So, yeah, man, let's hope that Morgan Wallen kind of gets over that.
Yeah.
But like I said, those new country artists are the new age rock stars. So
they are.
He'll find somebody pretty fast. This one, I'm going to open the phone for and read because I want to make sure that I get this one right because it's pretty crazy.
Okay.
And for those who are avid murder Netflix documentary watchers like we are, this one is pretty interesting. All right. So this one says the Colorado home where Chris Watts killed his wife has hit the market. And it's pretty expensive compared to other homes on the block. Scrolling down a little bit.
I don't want the house. I don't care if it's free.
It's a 5-bedroom residence in Frederick, Colorado.
He's having a stroke.
Which is heavily featured on the 2020 Netflix documentary American Murder, The Family Next Door. Okay, so earlier you were going to explain to me what was going on. Now, we watched this, but kind of give me a refresher.
It's been a minute. Okay, so his wife, her name is pronounced Shanann. And I remember that might...
Shanane.
I know. Like, you were like, what name is so weird? So she was into, like, that Herbalife stuff and was always going to, like, these conferences and conventions and stuff with her, like, her BFF girlfriend.
Okay, you definitely have to catch me up on this one.
Okay, so it was, like, middle of the night. the best friend brought the wife home from like a conference or whatever they had over the weekend. Next morning, but the best friend comes over because they're supposed to be doing something, or she's taking her to an appointment because at the time she's pregnant with their third baby.
Oh.
And Chris has already gone to work. Best friend, like, she's calling her, texting her, no answer. Best friend pulls up to the house, can't get anyone to answer the door. Like, the dog is still there. She can see Shanann's purse is still on the counter.
Oh, yeah.
So she calls the cops. They somehow get in through the garage, and like all of her things are still there. So they call Chris, the husband. He comes from work, and it's portrayed as someone came in and kidnapped her and the kids.
Yeah, I remember that. But they had him on video or something like that.
The neighbor's video in the driveway, you could see him loading some things up in the back of his truck at like 4 a.m.
Okay, yeah. So
yeah,
I'm completely caught up, and the answer is hell no.
I don't care if the house is free. I don't want it.
They have it on the market for $750,000. Yeah, and it was previously sold for $600 right after the documentary aired. So, but that's just the housing market. Hopefully they didn't raise the cost just because somebody died in there, because that would be pretty sick.
I think that would lower it.
Yeah,
honestly.
They said it's not listed on there, but I mean, if you're anybody with two eyes, you probably know what went on in there. So
yeah,
good luck with that haunted house.
No, for real.
All right, so last thing, and then we're going to get out of here. The eclipse. Dun dun dun.
Pretty cool.
What a whole fucking thing in itself, man.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, let me start off with my story. Okay. First off, I got last week wrongly, you guys, because I told everybody that I ordered glasses and me and the family would go out at night and enjoy it. The eclipse can't happen at night because it's already dark. Let's just get that one out the way. That was stupid. Secondly, I found out it was earlier in the day, and I was like, well, at least we got some glasses ordered, and I can watch them at home.
Yeah.
Because I'm working. And you were off.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that freaking Amazon didn't deliver my glasses until that night.
Yeah, it was like 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it was 6 o'clock at night. So technically, if I was right last week and me and the family was going to watch it at night, the glasses got here on time. But since I was wrong and the glasses got here extremely late, so I missed the whole eclipse. I did have a neighbor that was gracious enough to let me use his glasses, but I didn't get to see it like when it was fully covered. So I'm pretty fucking salty about that. And then people online said if you wait 45 more years, you can use those glasses. Like, come on.
It's going to be in 2045.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's just like, yeah.
Like 20-something years
we'll
from now?
We'll still be around.
Yeah.
Save your glasses.
Shit. It's the future. We'll probably have something where we can just look at it with our glasses or something.
With our bare eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, probably not that, but
I hope they don't got child support in the future. Anyways, I don't know what that was about.
No, I don't either. Just get it off your chest.
Right. All right.
I will tell you real quick. A couple people that I work with live around like Vian and Poto and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, which they called ahead, so arrangements were made. Like they're an hour, 2 hours late getting into work for their shift because of all of the traffic that's leaving that area from the eclipse. Because like around Poto and stuff, they had they had 100% coverage from the eclipse.
Yeah.
So traffic was backed up all down I-40 for hours.
You know what? Did you hear about all the people like their equilibrium being off?
Yeah, I've
being
heard that.
sick and stuff like that. And then there was another one where like there was parts in the world where it was 5 degrees cooler. And now that I think about it, it did feel pretty cool. Like whenever we were outside.
Yeah, we got to think too. One thing. Okay, so like the tides of the ocean is determined by the moon.
Right.
How could it not affect other things in that process? So yeah.
It's pretty amazing. And then you had your people that I don't really get into it, but the tarot people, or the tarot people that believe in all the signs, Aquarius and stuff like that. That was a big day for them.
Yeah,
you know, planets lining up. I mean, they ate off that. So,
they just need to let me know when it's time to pull my Gatorades out of the microwave.
Right. I mean, the eclipse, what a joyous time for the world to be weird in their own way and kind of explore it. But for me, I missed out on that shit. So, but we did have friends that drove to Fort Smith, Arkansas. It's your pregnant friend. I can't think of her name. She probably listens to this podcast. So congratulations on your marriage. But her and her husband, her new husband, because they just got married, drove to Fort Smith and took pictures. I can't think of her name. She's a hairstylist.
Oh, Kaylee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, anything else?
I think that's a mouthful for the week.
Yeah, I think that's about it, man. I wanted to kind of get in here and, you know, get some talking in, and I definitely like to talk about some music in the future because I got a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, be sure to like and subscribe and comment any ideas for topics or anything like that. Rate us. You know, tell us if you like us. Tell us how we can do better, or, you know, tell us what we're already doing good. So, do you have anything you need to say?
I don't believe so. No, okay. It gets funner every week.
Does it?
For me it does. So I hope it does for you and anyone who's listening to us.
Peace.